Same shit as the last 2 days. Cardio, sadly. And then, just cardio. That's pretty much it. I'm already sweaty because I was doing jump rope really fast. Anyways, Stairmasters. And just the same thing as the last other day, our last videos. That's pretty much it. Have a good day.
Well, today is, I'm January 17th, 25. I don't know if it'll get out on the same day I just said, but we'll eventually find out. It's 8:25 p.m. I did cardio, but before I did the cardio, I did jump rope. I think I said it in the intro, but I'm not sure if I did. But yeah, the jump rope was fun. I'm actually getting better at it. Like before, I would able to just hop, but I've been always wanting to learn how to do like a boxer step. I mean, I'm learning how to do it. That's for sure. But I don't know. Same plot, same thing as last time. Just I think I might make this video even shorter, like maybe 8 minutes long, cause I'm already tired. All right. Shit. Let me restart that. Alright. r/Petty Revenge by Sundress Comic. Ooh, hold on. Let me look at their account real quick. Because, you know. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, they post good stuff. I thought they would post, sundress stuff. Oh, well. Anyways. Saw the boss who fired me yesterday, and it's not. Oh yeah, let me refresh. Reddit story number 1. Petty Revenge by Sundress Comic. Saw the boss who fired me yesterday, and it's not going well for him. 3 years ago, I was fired from a stained glass studio where I worked as an artist, glass painter, and designer for being vocal about company safety. The owner made me safety person because I had come from a studio that took safety seriously. I read OSHA manuals and gave so many suggestions about unsafe practices we had in the studio, handling lead, acid, and other dangerous materials. After a few years of my suggestions being mostly ignored, someone actually, not me, called OSHA during COVID when my coworkers were not masking. The boss suspected it was me since I was the most vocal about safety, and they rehired my replacement shortly after. They removed my safety person's duties and fired me after enough time that had passed, and it wouldn't look suspicious. They cited a lack of work, but had just hired someone and were firing me instead. It doesn't add up. All in all, there was a place where my contributions and expertise were largely unacknowledged and unappreciated. At the time, I've been pursuing my own work as an artist. When I was fired, I have no idea how or I would be able to make ends meet in Los Angeles. But she did in fact. This firing was the best thing that could have happened in my career. Last night I saw this boss/owner at the event. The studio is doing so poorly that he had to cut everyone's hours to 2 days a week. Damn. Many people are looking for new jobs. He said, I heard you had a show. And yes, I actually have a solo show up with a major gallery. I have more than 30K in savings and so much more work in the horizon. I'm booked through 2026. Fucking living large. Beautiful. I said yes, things are really well, and flashed him a huge smile. Success is truly the best revenge. Edit. Obviously, did not expect this post to go so crazy. Thanks to everyone who was sharing their own stories of living well after being fired from a bad job. The number 1 comment I'm getting is, who tells someone how much they have in savings, lol. I didn't. I only said in the parts of the quotes, the other information, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it's important, but that's the end of the story. She's doing good. The boss isn't. End of story. And here's another one. By Specific Moment 5242. I run a machine shop when I get new old grizzly bastard who's been doing it in the unsafe way since the Stone Age. I tell him that while they are on my clock, their hands are in my hands. Yeah, I said that right. As well as I take care of my things, especially those things that make me a shitload of money, as those hands do. So either they start protecting my investment or I'll regulate to less dangerous but much more boring work assignment because to me those hands are too valuable to make unnecessary risks. I don't even think that was a story. I think that was just, yeah, that wasn't even a story. My bad. Oh well, it's not like, you know, I'm wasting y'all time. Y'all watching this anyways. Let's see. There's so many that are so good. They're just so damn long. I hate long stories because I'm like, I can't speak properly. Alright. Nuclear Revenge by Surin Baxtor. It's NSFW, I guess, but I would just, I'm gonna read the parts that, are better if I don't. You get what I'm saying. Second cheating revenge story. Oh, there's a part 1? Ah, hell no. We reading part 2. Too bad. This story is a little less painful than the last time, but this happened around 2 years after the first breakup. I was dating this guy who has a lot more out of the closet. Who was a lot more out of the closet when I was at the time. When closet than I was at the time. Oh, okay, they were both gay. There we go. My bad. He was my best friend and at times older brother. When I would hang out with him. See, that's why I don't like reading big words, man. When I know there's a bunch of words, I just start like choking. Pause. When I would hang out with my friends, he would often keep to himself, and I don't know why, but something pulled me toward him. At first, I started just chatting with him while my friends got ready to go somewhere. Just enjoying being able to make him smile was enough for me to soon enough, I managed to talk to him. I talked to him into joining, and when we hung out as a group, it was obvious that we were getting closer, and almost all of my friends were pushing me for 2 of us to get together, my best friend especially. It was around Halloween when I had asked him out, and to my shock, he said yes. For the first year, I felt so alive just being around him, enjoying just being in his company whenever it was going on dates or just lounging around his house and watching a movie. It was so much that I practically lived at my best friend's house, being that I still wasn't out of my parents and didn't want to have to explain me being only 17 and having a 19-year-old boyfriend to my father. It helped that the family supported us, feeling as if I was a member of the family myself. Things started changing when he built up a bit more confidence with himself and began to gain a group of friends of his own. They were a bit older than him, and he looked up to them, so he started to change his personality as a way to impress them. It started out with small things like making slight jabs at me when they were around, and eventually just anytime he pleased. He started to get pushy with me, telling his parents that I was gay, so I wouldn't be lounging around his house all the time. It progressed to him trying his best to exclude me from hanging out with other friend groups, lying about what he was doing, blowing off plans with me, or lying to my friends, saying I couldn't go. I tried to brush off these actions. Oops, shit, my bad. My bad. It progressed to him trying his best to exclude me from hanging out with either friend groups, lying about what I was doing, blowing off plans with me, or lying to my friends, saying I couldn't go. I tried to brush off these actions and pretending that wasn't happening and didn't hurt. Pretending that it didn't happen and didn't hurt. It got to the point where he wouldn't even get annoyed at me hanging out with my best friend at their home, completely ignoring me while we hung out with his older buddies. The only time I heard him even speak of us being together was when he would make lewd comments regarding our sex life. Ooh, that's where okay, my bad. One night, my best friend was having a sleepover with me and 2 of our other friends, and like normal, we stayed up until morning, energized on energy drinks and soda. It was nice to hang out like old times again. With me and my friends, they seemed to agree with me. We were halfway through a weird conversation about some show or another when my boyfriend came home. The walls were thin in the house, so I could hear that he wasn't alone, and all the group of us got quiet. Us that he wasn't alone, and the group of us all being very noisy. As soon as he made it into the next room, my heart sank in the unmistakable sounds of him and another guy having sex. What? My friends were all honestly shocked and attempted to comfort me. At this point, I felt both sad and angry, and both felt into storming into the room and doing nothing more but give him satisfaction to see me hurt. My friends tried to help me take it off my mind for a bit and various distractions, but they could never silence the obvious sounds of my boyfriend and whoever he was with. What the fuck? I tried to pretend like I didn't hear, not wanting the group to have their sleepover ruined by my drama, but no matter what, each sound I could hear through the walls, my sadness turned into anger. Even after my friends crashed, I remained wide awake in the silence of the room with the sound still very obvious. It wasn't long before the sound stopped, and I see from the crack in the door that my boyfriend's buddy, shirtless and disheveled, making his way to the front door. Long story short, I did not sleep that night, and by the next morning, I was still very angry. My boyfriend was heading out to the state to look at a certain college he was hoping to attend, so he had to wake up pretty early. I was in the kitchen drinking some hot tea when he woke up. He shamelessly stumbled half naked into the kitchen, smelling of sex and cheap cologne. Cheap cologne to hide the scent. He was tugging on one of my old shirts and that I had given him for his birthday and attempting to fix his hair like nothing had happened. "Hey babe, have you stayed up all night again?" he asked in a groggy and familiar tone. He knew that I had the tendency to not sleep sometimes, occasionally losing track of time, so he didn't assume anything. I just saw him smiling at me the way he always did and it just made me angrier. Knowing he thought I hadn't My bad. Knowing he thought I hadn't caught on, think you could fix me up a cup? I gotta get on the road soon. That's what he said. I just stood up and walked around the bar into the kitchen area and pulled out the tea packets. I saw while the tea kettle boiled and had thoughts of throwing the hot liquid on him, but thought against that. When it began to whistle, I poured the hot water into his mug and went for the lemon juice. He liked to put it in his tea every morning. That was when his eyes landed on the lemon-flavored laxative that sat in the fridge. I fixed his tea all right, but instead of lemon juice, I poured a good amount of the liquid laxative into his cup. Reading the instructions, of course, not wanting to kill him. I also added one of those sexual stimulants that sat on the counter, and I was in a gag. It was a gag gift from his dad for his last birthday. That seemingly never left the spot on the counter. I stirred it really good before returning the tea to him, watching him gulp it down. He looked at the time, nothing that he had got on the road before traffic, pulling me into a kiss. I was disgusted by this, tasting another man on his lips as he left the front door. I watched him leave, waiting for a good hour before sending him a voicemail telling him that it was over. I told him my best friend about what I had done. And the two of us still share this laugh to this day. My now ex was really angry when he came home since he still had that accidentally soiled himself in traffic, and every time he had to make a pit stop, his erection would accidentally fall into the water. I feel bad about it, but at the same time, I feel like it's still a bit funny. My ex, of course, still gives me dirty looks when I come to visit, sometimes getting jealous when he hears me and my best friends talking about other guys. In the end, though, I am sad things happened the way they did. You have to learn from your experience and grow from them. I really enjoyed that one. That was really good. Even though it's going to be like the only one I'm going to read. But, yeah. So, as I said, maybe one or two stories. That's it for tonight. I'm going to go to bed. That might be my intro from now, from the Truman Show. I'm going to just play the noise in the background, and then, you're going to like it. My bad. I didn't know what to say. I'm tired. Here. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.